Cross My Heart and Hope to Die by Chuya on AO3. Summary. If someone asked what they thought about Bakugou Katsuki, they'd be given a strange look, followed by a laugh, and the answer, a raging, spiky-haired boy who eats babies for breakfast. However, that wasn't necessarily the case every time. Cross My Heart and Hope to Die. If somebody asked what the class thought about Todoroki Shoto, they'd be given one straight answer. A guy who could freeze you with his looks. However, Todoroki would look at them with a strange expression because he also has his left side, right? How could he only look at them with coldness? If somebody asked what they thought about Bakugou Katsuki, they'd been given a strange look, followed by a laugh, and the answer, a raging, spiky-haired boy who eats babies for breakfast. However, that wasn't necessarily the case every time. It started at the beginning of their second year. For one, Katsuki Bakugo had been distracted. This wasn't a normal occurrence, seeing that Bakugo was always a cannon. He wasn't spewing out insults left and right, and sometimes they would catch him spacing out in the middle of it all. It was on the 5th day of August, out in the sun playing volleyball with an enhanced use of their quirks, when Bakugo spaced out, causing the ball to land a direct hit on his face. He stumbled out of the court, leaving a trail of dust on his wake. "Bakugo!" Kirishima called out, running to where he was. "Sorry, man. I must have hit you too hard. What were you doing spacing out?" "Kachan, are you okay?" "I'm fucking fine," Bakugo grumbles, but the blood on his nose say otherwise. "Bakugo, go to the nurse's office." "I'm fine, Aizawa-sensei," Bakugo says, wiping the blood off his nose. "Something like this isn't gonna kill me." "You've been spacing out for the entire duration of class," Aizawa replies, handing Bakugo a piece of paper. Bakugo grumbles, but he places his hand on his pockets and started walking towards the nurse's office. At the middle of the lesson, Todoroki disappears and no one knows where he currently is. Well, that is until Kirishima, who after the lesson immediately rushes to the nurse's office to check on Bakugo. To his surprise, he finds Todoroki seated on the bed across to Bakugo, and Bakugo's face beet red. "Hey man, are you okay?" "I told you already, weird hair. I'm fucking fine." Kirishima, who is still not convinced with Bakugo's excuse, stepped forward and placed his hands on Bakugo's forehead. "You're beet red. Do you have a fever?" Bakugo glares at the bed sheets, slapping away Kirishima's hand. "I'm fucking fine." Kirishima's brows raise. When Bakugo had slapped his hand away, a portion of his skin on his neck was revealed, and Kirishima could say he saw some interesting things. "Do they have a lot of mosquitoes here, Bakugo?" "What the fuck do you want now?" he growled, crossing his arms on his chest. "Your skin is full of bites," Kirishima pointed out, confused. He glared at Todoroki, who was staring at Bakugo with a smirk on his face. It didn't end there, unfortunately. Bakugo comes to school wearing a long sleeves and collared shirts for the next days. He brushes away any questions by Izuku and the rest of the class, and the blush on his face was due to anger and irritation in answering their questions. That's what they think, anyway. However, judging from the smirk on Todoroki's face, the man rarely showed emotions. Kirishima knew that wasn't the case. "Hey, Bakugo! What do you want, fuckface?" Bakugo snarls. His neck is sweaty, and there was beads of sweat on his forehead. Kaminari raises his brows in suspicion. "It's like one of the hottest days of the year. Why are you wearing long sleeves?" Because I fucking want to. But you're sweating. And I should give a fuck because you're gonna get a heat stroke at this rate. Bakugou glares at him. Shut up and mind your own fucking business. Kaminari, who was surprisingly stubborn, grabs a bottle of water and almost unconsciously, he pours the bottle of cold water onto Bakugou. The class stopped to stare at them both, one with wide, fearful eyes, and one soaked to the bone. Electric fuck. Bakugou trails off as he pushes a chair behind him, creating a screeching sound. His eyes burned in anger as Kaminari stepped back. Bakugou, calm. He glances at the people around him, who were standing up to stop Bakugou. It was an accident. I swear. Bakugou growls, the murderous look on his eyes, sparks of fire on his hands, made Kaminari gulp, praying to all the deities in heaven to make Bakugou see the light. He takes another step back as Ida rushes in together with Sero. Bakugou, calm down. Let's resolve this peacefully. Oh, I will. Bakugou snarls, a grin on his face, as his fists meet his palms, in the most satisfying way possible. Half of their classmates were trying to calm down Bakugou. However, he took one look after the other, not even hesitating one bit. Kaminari backs down another step and is met by the wall. His eyes widen in surprise as he sees Bakugou shove his last protection, Kirishima, away from him. He closes his eyes and prays to all the deities above in heaven. Kaminari waits for the pain to engulfed by his senses. However, he waits in vain. Popping one eye open, he sees Bakugou's fist stopping in midair. Todoroki's right hand is on Bakugou's shoulder, the ice cooling his temper slightly. Katsuki? If Kaminari wasn't in this situation he would be shell-shocked, and unmoving on his place like he had been, poured a bucket of cold water as he stared at the scene unfolding in front of him. Bakugou snarls, but he lowers his hands and swats Todoroki's hand away. He plops down in his chair, placing his head on the desk. Todoroki, thanks, Kaminari says, when he finally regains his composure. Todoroki only nods. He grabs his bag and rummages through it. He lifts a white shirt, making the class stare at him in surprise as he nudges Bakugou the shirt. Bakugou lifts his head up. They expect him to run wild, spew out curses, or even burn Todoroki's shirt. They expect him to kick Todoroki, which the latter would be able to dodge, obviously, and shout at his ear that he didn't need help. But what they didn't expect is that Bakugou's grumbling a thank you before he grabs the shirt and exits the room. They're all surprise-faced everywhere, gawking at the two even when Bakugou had left to change and Todoroki went back to his seat and plugged in some earphones. There were more surprise faces and more gawing at their mouths hanging open and their eyes wide in disbelief when they see Bakugou returning wearing Todoroki's white shirt. He grumbles and sits down next to Todoroki, grabbing the other man's headphones and burying his face on his desk. This was a cute one-shot. It's a very interesting dynamic that I would love to see in a more laid out ground base, like a full series kind of thing, you know? It's an interesting dynamic. I'm not much of a shipper for these two, but I'm warming up to it. Thanks to this YouTube channel, I've been exposed to more ships than I normally am, and good thing I'm a multi-shipper. But as always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink your water, take your meds, have a wonderful day or night. Join our community Discord server, link is in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content. And thank you so much for watching.